Alright, so today we're going to be talking about double standards. A double standard is pretty self-explanatory. It's where we hold different people to different standards. This can lead to an inconsistent and unjust enforcement of rules and community policies. Double standards are extremely prevalent within the Smash community, and the example I always use is MVD. However, MVD isn't really discussed a lot when it comes to double standards in the community. The main discourse revolves around the topic of this video, Jisu. I legitimately have no idea why everyone tries to cover for Jisu so hard. Literally none. The amount of favoritism that goes into letting Jisu get away with everything is beyond corrupt. It's like the community is built to protect Jisu at all costs, and anyone who tries to call it out is a threat that must be purged. Slime literally confirmed that she told everyone not to engage with a video containing legitimate allegations and criticisms. And the worst part, they all blindly listened without any critical thinking.
Everyone knew that this was happening, about this fucking technicals video. Everyone knew about it, and Jisu asked people to, to like not give it, not like, because she was like, hey, this video's gonna come out and it's gonna fucking be really annoying and it sucks. And I'm like, damn, that fucking sucks. And she was like, can you like not engage with it, because attention is like the engine that feeds people like this Keemstar fellow. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so that's why it was a lot of like, I'm fucking hands off, because I think it's a good point.
Mr. R made 2 tweets talking about how favoritism exists in the community. I want to give you a second to actually read these tweets instead of simply flashing them on the screen like I usually do. Now read Leffen's tweets and tell me that they don't sound like the most frantic and paranoid things you've ever seen. Who said anything about conspiracies? This serves as a prime example as to why James Madison included the 5th Amendment to the Bill of Rights. But back to Jisu. She has lied on numerous occasions about several different people, yet she gets no repercussions whatsoever, despite being called out by several different people, including myself. Here's the thing though, if they don't want to ban Jisu for slander and defamation, that's technically okay so long as they don't ban anyone else for doing those things. So of course they did. We have all seen Haxx's Evidence.zip videos, and as a result, Haxx was banned. However, Haxx's ban statement was garbage and hypocritical, and I genuinely wonder if Mikey even looked into any of the claims Haxx made. Mikey has no clue what this word means, yet he uses it over and over and over again to try and make terrible arguments in the process. Take for instance this section, where he LARPs as a lawyer to try and accuse Haxx of defaming Leffen and Jisu. The key to defamation is that the accusation is a lie, and while there is no hard, concrete, or direct evidence to convict Leffen and Jisu, there is more than enough reason to believe Haxx. But instead, Mikey claims that the situation is a lie and thus constitutes defamation. Let's take a closer look at Haxx's allegations that Mikey calls defamatory. Haxx claims that Leffen and Jisu conspired to cancel Zero for their own benefit. Also, let me be clear, Zero deserved to be cancelled, but Jisu and Leffen had absolutely nothing to do with that. Jisu made an allegation about Zero showing her Craigslist sex worker ads. The problem with this allegation is that Jisu lived with 5 other people, yet none can confirm or deny her allegations, and secondly, Craigslist is a heavily moderated site that doesn't allow the content Jisu alleges was shown to her, as well as the fact that Zero claims to not use Craigslist very often. Shut up. Next, Leffen posts a tweet longer about the allegations despite claiming he would take a break from Twitter. This was to help corroborate Jisu's allegations and say that it was a more nuanced situation than what the public thought at that point. In the tweet longer, Leffen confirmed that he spoke to Jisu before the allegations were made. Then, Leffen tried to corroborate Jisu's story with a fake story, then later made another fake allegation against Zero. Now while there is no direct evidence confirming or busting Haxx's allegation, you need to take everything into account. Leffen and Jisu spoke to each other before releasing fake stories. How is it not a reasonable conclusion to then say they conspired to cancel Zero? How is that defamation? And how do you ban Haxx but give Jisu a pass, who not only lied about Sky Williams but admitted to lying about Zero? In fact, Mikey literally entertains the idea that Jisu and Leffen may have lied, but doesn't even take the next step to what that would implicate. Also, notice how he responds to several comments about the ban statement except for the ones revolving Jisu. Or take this section about how Haxx accused Leffen of using espionage to sabotage the box. Mikey claims this is an unfalsifiable claim about his motivations, but doesn't actually want to use any critical thinking or context to prove so. Now let's put all of this into context. Imagine you have a certain product that ever since day one, literally day one, someone begins denouncing your product in every way possible, even making misleading and misinformed YouTube videos with thumbnails like these. Now let's say that person gets your product banned from a tournament that originally invited you to show off your product. Now this person asks your engineer, not even you, for a prototype. Why should hacks believe Leffen isn't acting maliciously? Why would Leffen be acting in good faith in any capacity whatsoever? Someone who has thoroughly trashed your company now wants something from you, and even asks for it through your engineer instead of you. Why should I give Leffen the benefit of the doubt at all here? Who does all of that while acting in good faith? But once again, the benefit of the doubt is given to Leffen. It's severely ironic that a document that says hacks isn't fair to Leffen is at the same time not fair to hacks, which leads me to my next point. This guy will literally admit the possibility of Leffen being in the wrong while significantly downplaying it to try and seem unbiased while the document is clearly Leffen biased. To put it in simpler terms, even when Leffen is wrong, he is still right according to Mikey. As I mentioned before, Mikey glossed over the fact that Leffen and Jisu may have lied and the implications that that would have, but he also glosses over Leffen leaking Haxx's private and personal messages, which first of all, Leffen is not sorry for that. To anyone who thinks he is, he's not. But Leffen even claimed to be the victim in the situation. What? Like, Mikey didn't even try to be neutral or objective there. And he loves to do this thing where he says hacks incited violence, but then says he didn't, then says he did, all in a 3-sentence span. He has done this with hacks incited harassment and hacks as a conspiracy theorist as well. He's both giving hacks the benefit of the doubt for something and still accusing him of that thing. This is some next level logic not even Socrates could wish to comprehend. Mikey, I'm going to use your own words against you. Mikey has created a game Leffen cannot possibly lose. I think part of why people have characterized Mikey's statements as being hard to digest is his tendency to rely on this sort of rhetoric. Remember when hacks was the hyperbolic and deranged one? Get ready for this gem. This reminds me of one aspect of the rhetorical effectiveness of QAnon. The allegation that politicians are involved in human trafficking with the aim of killing and harvesting adrenochrome from children is so appalling that if one believes it to be true, then it would make sense for them to do just about anything to stop that from happening. I'll just say this nuclear take right now. Leffen is closer to Hitler than hacks is to QAnon. You can clip that and share it with your 2 followers, I don't care, it's the truth. Leffen has done more damage to this community than hacks has used QAnon logic. And the worst part is that if we remove these 2 sentences, the document literally doesn't get better. This is a terrible ban statement that is full of contradictions, hypocrisy, holes, and misinformation. It even mentions and acknowledges people who have done ban-worthy things but just glosses over them. If that isn't favoritism, I have no clue what is. I will say this with confidence, Jisu and Leffen worked together to cancel someone in July of last year, and until I see evidence to the contrary, this is not a conspiracy. Thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.